And then we got Jason X. Um, from what I've read on the internet, it's like I guess one of people's least favorites. Although I'm not sure why. I thought like my least favorite was Jason. No wait, Jason Takes Manhattan. That was my least favorite. And then Jason Goes to Hell, I liked. And then I thought this, it had that tone, Jason Goes to Hell, except, I don't know, I hadn't seen Jason in a long time. Jason Goes to Hell came out, what, 93, and then this came out in um, 2002. So I was just excited to see Jason again, finally, on the big screen after such a long time. And, I was a little tired of the whole in the woods setting, kind of like all 9 movies in the woods or in some sort of country, woodsy type setting. Even Jason Takes Manhattan, they were in some lake or whatever on a boat, and they didn't get to Manhattan until maybe like the last third of the movie. So it was kind of refreshing to see him in space. And I like the kills, especially the first one where he dunks the girl's head in the ice and busts her face up. And by the 10th Jason, it's like, yeah, it's gonna be a little silly. It's gonna be kind of a horror comedy, I guess. It wasn't scary, but I didn't care. It had good gore, good kills. I thought Uber Jason looked pretty cool. Although I know I wish they could have done more with him. And he was kind of, I don't know, kind of a pussy compared to like the regular Jason. Like he didn't really do much. They really kicked his ass. Like it was kind of easy. He didn't really put up much of a fight as Uber Jason, but he looked pretty cool, and I like that. And again, like I can only justify it by saying I was entertained. And yeah, I was entertained. What else can I say? Fuck it. And then we got Cabin Fever. I really love this movie. Like, yeah, I really love it. I don't know why people hate it, well, okay. I guess it was a little overhyped when it first came out because they kind of made it seem a little more serious than it was, and maybe a little more suspenseful. It wasn't really that suspenseful, but the premise really freaked me out because I'm a germaphobe, and when I drink water, like I use filters for my water, and like I don't like, I like to have pure water. And then just the fact that all you gotta do is just get a little speck of it in your mouth, or just ingest like a little speck, get a fucking flesh-eating disease that you can't, there's no cure for, and it's contagious. Just cough on somebody, give it to them. I hate getting colds. That shit's contagious, so I can relate to that. Just not wanting to get shit from somebody else. The fingering scene, like the way it was so tender. Like it was kind of a tender, loving moment, and then you heard this little. I'm like, what the fuck? You're like, oh no, don't tell me she's bleeding down there. Oh God, oh. And then it was funny how they had to isolate her in that little woodshed because they didn't want to get it. She's like, fuck you guys. I don't know, I like the humor. And I'll admit, some of the characters were a little annoying. Like Bird, I didn't like him. He was kind of stupid, just kind of immature. The kind of guy who would annoy the fuck out of me in high school. But other than that, just the way everybody got sick, the way they revealed it, especially when Bert was sick, and like, I don't know, the way he scratched the back of his neck. Oh God, I just couldn't stand it. Like, I don't know, like I imagine that it must have itched really bad, but kind of stung, or maybe didn't hurt until he looked at, like, oh shit, ah, and then the leg shaving scene. I can never look at that like just straight, without blinking or looking away. I can't stand the sound. That's what really like gets me the most about it, is the sound. Like, I can't even look at the start menu on the DVD. I have to like press menu so it doesn't go through the whole like sequence. And that sound, like, oh, I just can't fucking stand it. A fucking razor going over an open wound. Oh, that just freaked me out. And then I like the music in it. Yeah, he stole it from Last House on the Left, but I hadn't seen Last House on the Left since I was 14 until when I saw this, so I kind of forgot about Last House on the Left. And then I heard the music in this and it sounded a little familiar, and then when I finally saw Last House on the Left on DVD, a little bit after I saw this, and like, oh, that's where that came from. And like, okay, got influence from Wes Craven. He's a Wes Craven fan. I'm a Wes Craven fan. And, Last House on the Left, I really love that movie. So, I like, the influence. I got that and I appreciated it. And it wasn't really suspenseful, but it was like it was funny. I liked. Aside from the gross out factor, it was pretty funny the way it all unfolded. Loved Deputy Winston, the party man or whatever. And the main character, like, I don't know. I guess my only complaint about the movie is the ending. I didn't really get the ending. Why would they, if they knew he was contaminated, like, they racked up all the other bodies, burned them, because they didn't want to, get the town sick. Why would Deputy Winston just dump him by the lake with his bloody head in the water, infecting the, like, why would they do that? If they burned all the other bodies, they were worried about those bodies infecting everything. Why would they just dump that one last body into the water? I just didn't. That didn't make sense to me. But up until then, it was all seamlessly, like, it. I love the plot line. I like. It was entertaining. That's it's about the only justification I have. So yeah.